Welcome back to the news at 10. The former governor of Imo State, Ihedioha, believes that Governor Hope Uzodinma and the All Progressives Congress misled the Supreme Court into holding that over 200,000 votes were unlawfully excluded from the votes that were announced during the Imo governorship election. According to a motion on notice filed today, the immediate past governor stated 5 grounds of nullity for the Apex Court to nullify the January 14, 2020 judgment and remove Senator Hope Uzodinma as the governor. The allegation of fraud is the 3rd ground in the motion. A former Attorney General of Imo State, Mr. Ndukwe Nwauchi, explains that the former governor will also file a motion to expedite the hearing on notice. The Independent National Electoral Commission is also joined in the suit as a respondent. Now, the Edo State government has denied any wrongdoing in the demolition of a property along Ubo axis of Benin City belonging to a member of the All Progressives Congress, Mr. Tony Kabaka. The Special Advisor, Media and Communication Strategy to Governor Godwin Obaseki insists that the exercise was not an isolated one, adding that the government was already in the process of bringing down an illegal structure in the state. He said that the demolition exercise followed due process and is not politically motivated. He also said in a statement that the court ordered accelerated hearing on the matter on December 2nd, 2019, and had in subsequent proceedings told parties to maintain status quo. He explains that the action of the government today on demolishing the property is apparently overreaching and preempting the judgment of the court. The Earl of Essex, His Royal Highness Prince Edward, is in Nigeria and he's attending to a couple of events. And as part of the lineup, he attended a forum for the International Award of Young People, where he saw an abridged version of a stage drama written in honor of the late Afrobeat maestro Fela Anikulapo Kuti. Our correspondent Olu Phillips reports.
It's an evening of warmth and conviviality. The evening is also a special one because royalty is meeting with accomplished business community of a select few, the diplomatic corps and other distinguished guests. The Earl of Wessex, His Royal Highness Prince Edward, is in Nigeria. As they settle in, the gathering is treated to the capacity of young lads who have signed on to the International Award for Young People, a project founded by the Duke of Edinburgh.
As a tall, slim 16-year-old, my greatest weakness has always been public speaking. Whether it's a simple class presentation or a speech in front of an auditorium filled with people, I could barely voice my thoughts out because of the anxiety I feel. My school assembly, Macaulay Girls' School, served as a great start to put my skills to use. What skill? I decided to make the source of my weakness my greatest strength, public speaking.
We are putting our youngsters into an international alumni, an international network where they have a common achievement measured to high quality commonly across the world.
The evening comes to a wrap, but not exactly a wrap for the royal visitor. Less than 24 hours later, on a bright day, His Royal Highness Prince Edward, in company of distinguished guests like the Chairman CEO Channels Media Group, Mr. John Momoa, former Commonwealth Secretary General Emeka Nyoku, former Attorney General of Lagos, Mr. Shupe Shashere, British Deputy High Commissioner, and others, to see another aspect of the Nigerian spirit, the dexterity of our entertainment industry. In his response, the prince couldn't hold back, but eulogized the strong and resilient spirit of those who promote the True Nigerian project.
Thank you. I think what comes across is that fantastic energy and life and dimension that Africa and particularly Nigeria brings to that, and some great stories. It is that language, it is that ability to communicate across cultures and across borders, which is what this business is all about.
A rewarding time it should be for the royalty, judging by the quality of personality and engagement he's met during his endeavor here in the country. Olu Phillips, Channels Television News.
Meanwhile, His Royal Highness visited the Lekki campus of the Children's International School in Lagos to commission a state-of-the-art school block. The Prince was also the special guest at the International Award for Young People hosted by the school. The award provides a voluntary and non-competitive framework which challenges youth to develop skills outside formal education.
Perhaps his first port of call for the day. Prince Edward, the Duke of Edinburgh, arrives the Children International School, CIS, to a warm welcome by the management of the institution. Pupils and students wave in excitement as their august visitor makes his way through the school premises to commission the new senior school block.
1, 2, 3, it's open!
The new block is an expansion that provides more learning spaces that encourage student-led learning in a secure and stimulating environment.
Well, it's a senior school building, and it has 5 science labs, music lab, ICT lab, and we also have what we call a self-directed learning environment, which affords the students learning spaces where they can collaborate and learn in a more engaging manner.
So in effect, you're creating a provision for children that goes from creche to being well beyond school, because you're fostering in them a love of knowledge in an extremely special environment that is, as far as I can see, unique in the world in its combination of different provisions.
The Prince also graced the occasion of the International Award for Young People, also known as the Duke of Edinburgh Award. The award equips young people with skills for life. As the patron of the award, it was an opportunity for him to interact with participating students from schools in Lagos, Nigeria, and neighboring African countries, as well as see their exhibitions to know how the program is impacting their lives.
In trying to develop a whole man, you have to go beyond what you learn in the classroom. And this program actually gives them the opportunity to learn a lot and begin to become useful in other aspects of life that they're going to face when they graduate from secondary school.
The award challenges young people between age 14 and 24 to develop new skills, get physically active, learn about teamwork and leadership through adventurous journey, as well as volunteer within their community.
From there, let's take another quick look at security issues now. The police have cleared the air on reports that its helicopter was shot down by bandits in Kaduna State. Rather, they say the bandits only fired shots at the Bell helicopter, but the pilot and co-pilot successfully landed the aircraft at the Air Force Base in Kaduna without further incident. The helicopter, which was providing aerial and intelligence cover for the ground troops, came under attack from the bandits using sophisticated anti-aircraft rifles. A statement from the force spokesperson said special operatives of Operation Puff Adder had stormed one of the largest operational camps at a terror group located in Kuduru Forest, Beningwari area of Kaduna State, and successfully neutralized over 250 high-profile members of the terror gang. The statement adds that the operation was necessitated by actionable intelligence linking terror and criminal elements in the super camp to series of terror-related violence, kidnappings, gun running, cattle rustling, and heinous crimes across the country. Let's take a look at some business news for the day, and here's Bisi Adebayo.
Banking so easy, so simple. Dial star 894 hash now to experience it. You first, First Bank.
Thanks, Ihedioha. Welcome to Business News. Nigeria's mining sector is expected to account for 3% of GDP over the next 5 years, from 0.3% currently, as the government seeks to diversify the economy away from oil. And that's according to the Minister for Mines and Steel Development, Olamilekan Adegbite, who also expects exponential growth in the mining sector, with gold, lead, zinc, limestone and coal among 7 strategic minerals identified for investment. The minister says the country has already attracted $600 million to develop an iron ore project from African Natural Resources and Mines, and that's the largest single mining investment in years. Mr. Adegbite says the government would require mining companies to sign agreements with local communities who remain unhappy with the perceived lack of development and benefits before investing. The Senate has given 8 ministries, departments and agencies of government a 2-week ultimatum to appear before its Committee on Local and Foreign Debts to defend President Muhammadu Buhari's $29.96 billion loan request presently before the National Assembly. The lawmakers are not happy about the failure of the MDAs to defend the proposed allocation of monies for projects under their supervision and captured in the president's loan request. The chairman of the committee, Senator Clifford, says their failure to appear before the committee is hindering the activities of the panel. But some of the MDAs yet to appear before the Senate committee, according to the lawmaker, include the Federal Ministries of Education, Power, Niger Delta Development Commission, and Water Resources. Meanwhile, the House of Representatives Committee on Finance wants the Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria to explain why it failed to remit 66 billion naira out of 75 billion naira it generated between 2014 and 2019. The committee observed that the figures presented by FAN did not tally with those in the records of the Accountant General of the Federation and the Auditor General of the Federation, and that FAN had remitted only 9 billion naira to the federal government in the last 5 years. The management of FAN had appeared before the House Committee on Finance as part of its oversight ministries, departments and agencies. Well, let's turn to the Nigerian equities market now, where it's a 3rd day of consecutive losses as sell pressure by investors continues to push the main index closer to the 27,000 lower level. Here's Akaite Afia with a summary of today's trading figures.
Hello and welcome to the Stock Market Report. An additional 175 billion naira is lost to a 3rd round of sell pressure by investors at the equities market as the NSE's main index draws closer to the corridors of the 27,000 lower level. The latest downturn at the close of midweek trading session comes amid a mixed sectoral performance after the banking counter rebounded by 1.46%, insurance gained 0.63%, while heavy profit hit the oil and gas, industrial, and consumer goods sector key components. As more earnings report continue to pour into the market, stocks' performance on the price chart retained a negative margin of 21 losers, led by Con Oil, NASCON, and Mobil against 17 gainers led by Union Bank, Law Union, and Consolidated Hallmark Insurance. Meanwhile, Zenith Bank remains at the top of the trades list for a 4th straight session with more than 93 million shares, while investors' appetite for stocks was stronger by about 95 million units against Tuesday's session at 350.2 million. And that's the Stock Market Report. I'm Akaite Afia.
Many thanks, Akaite. Meanwhile, across the globe, stocks continue to build on the week's already strong gains as investors recover from a recent drop sparked by the coronavirus fears. Let's take a look at some of today's numbers. And that's it on Business News. It's back to you, Ihedioha.
Banking so easy, so simple. Dial star 894 hash now to experience it. You first, First Bank.
Still ahead on the news at 10, the Senate acquits President Donald Trump on both articles of impeachment, abuse of power and obstruction of Congress. Plus 139 people injured. That figure has risen to 150 now. And we'll take a look at all that in a few minutes.